Guys, Carolyn Banner here from Body by Banner. Just wanted to give you a brief intro before starting the workout. So it'll take you through the first 2 rounds and we'll be talking you through it because I haven't quite perfected talking while working out and coaching others through a workout. So I will be guiding you through. The first round will be the kind of most advanced track 1 options of the exercises that are on the sheet that you had sent to you in the newsletter. And then the second round will be the tracks 2 and 3. So I'm going to give you some options to modify, which I also listed some modifications in the workout outline. So those would be just a little bit easier. You can take the intensity down a notch if you need to. You can always try starting with the hardest version and then drop it down if you need to, or if you just know it's like your energy is kind of low and you want to just start a little bit lower, that's totally fine. If you're beginning, that's probably where you need to be as well. So I hope you like it. Again, rest-based training, you really need to focus on resting when you need to and then giving it your all when you're working. Okay, so have fun, let me know how it goes, and I'll see you soon. Bye. All right, guys, we're going to get started with the first movement, atomic push-ups, which you will be using the TRX straps for if you have them. So first minute, you're going to get your feet in the loops, flip yourself over into high plank, and you're going to complete 1 full push-up and then a double knee drive. So trying to keep those hips in line with the shoulders, not too high. You'll see I do a better job sometimes than others, but really working on keeping nice and controlled through the core. So working the shoulders, but also working into the abs because the feet are elevated and also unstabilized with the straps, with the TRX. So remember, this first round, we're going to be going through the full version of all the exercises. So take lots of rest, give them a shot. I always like to aim high and then modify if needed. So give it your best, take lots of rest, and then the next round I'm going to be going through different options if you don't have TRX straps or if you need to take it down a notch. All right, so finish with that already. Coming up, you're going to be doing, the next minute will be a squat to overhead press with the pulse at the bottom. So coming down low, pulse once, press it overhead. Great job, nice. Good, keeping the core nice and strong, hinging from the hips. So weight is in the heels, squeezing the glutes, and then using the hips strength and the core strength to explode up, pressing the weights overhead. So I say explode, but you always want to keep nice control. And then pulsing down, great. So a little bit slower on the way down, just 1 inch up and down for the pulse, rest when you need to. And then you're going to go quicker on the way up. So pushing hard, using heavy weights, and shake out the hands if the grip on the heavy weights is too much. For me it was. So racking the weights of the shoulders nice and low on the squat with the pulse, and then pressing the weights all the way overhead. Great. Good. Done with that. Coming on to the third movement, you're going to be on the mat, no weights, 2 dive bomber push-ups, and then 4 breaststrokes. So down dog position, and then you're going to trace the nose along the mat, bringing the kind of the crown of the head towards the mat and then forward, and then reversing the movement. Really challenging body weight movement. And then you're going into all the way onto the belly, squeezing the glutes to lift the legs up as high as you can, and then lift using the shoulders to sweep the arms forward and around and back by the sides. Great. Back to 2 dive bomber push-ups. You're going to do 2 push-ups, 4 breaststrokes, and then alternating between the 2. So back and forth. Great. Keep going. Now we're going to be working the core a little bit here, but really focusing on the whole posterior chain, all the muscles in the back of the body. But really wanting to focus as well on keeping the belly button pulled up into the spine. Awesome. 3 minutes down, 2 to go on this first round. Coming back to the TRX if you have them, we're going to be doing full body rows, so I like to get my feet underneath the anchor as much as possible. In this case, I put them against the door to keep myself from slipping. Do as many rows as I can, drawing the chest up towards the straps, using the upper back here a lot. Go until I can't anymore. These guys are really heavy, so I usually get about 4 or 5. Rest, stretch out the upper back. And then when I come back into it, I change the rotation. So palms face in one time, and then palms face the floor the next, or away from me. So these are modification for the full movement, which is our pull-ups, but I don't have a pull-up bar at home, so it's a really nice way to get the similar muscle groups working. And then I'll show you in the next round how to do these if you don't have a TRX. So of course, go straight to that part of the video. If you don't have a TRX, we'll be doing bent over rows, and I can show you how to do those. Awesome. Last movement, we're going to be going into new jacks with the weights. So big work on the legs and the lungs with this one. You're really going to get the heart rate up. So I use medium weights here, and it's going to be jumping between a close squat, like a chair squat, and a wide squat, like a plie. So weights come up into my chest on the, like a hammer curl on the plie, and then they come down by my sides for the close squat, the chair squat. These are really heavy when you use weights. So the next round I'm going to show you without weights. So just do the same exact jumping close and wide without weights. That's a really good place to start. And if that's even too much for you, if your knees are bothering you, if you really need to take any jumping movements out of your workout, just doing close squat and then stepping wide. So we'll go through that next round. But just even if you can do 2 good quality reps of these and then stop. Awesome. Already done with that. First round down, grab some water, take a quick breather. So the clock will always keep going. It's going to keep going. You have 1 minute for each exercise, but you take as much rest as you need in between. So starting back up, second round. This time I'm going to show you the first movement, atomic push-ups without the TRX. So full push-up, knees elevated if you can, and then hop the feet in and out. Good. Rest. So do quality reps or rest. So I'm going to show you doing with the knees down, full or modified push-up, and then jump the knees in for the knee drive. Good. So just put the knees down and then come back into full plank to do the knee drive. Nice strong form. So the elbows are bending. Everything else is super strong. The only reason the rest of your body moves is because the elbows are bending. Last option is to do the modified push-up, and instead of jumping the knees in, alternating knee drives, just one each side. Cool. Second movement, going on to the squat pulls to overhead press, but we're going to take out the weights. So if you don't have weights, or you want to just make it a little bit lighter but still get the heart rate up, you can do 1 squat pulse. It's hard to do just one. Sometimes you'll see me doing 2. And then a jump. Cool. So staying low, nice and low on the squat and the squat pulse. Again, weight in the heels, and then a big jump up. So that's an option. I'll show you here in a little bit. I think just pulsing squats up next. So that's your other option. So taking out the jump again if you have any knee problems, jumping's just not in your workout for today, then just pulsing. That's a long minute to do full pulses, so just like I do, you can stand up, shake out the feet, take short rest, come back into it. Find what works for you with the rest. It's really going to be a matter of you paying attention to your body, sometimes a short, quick rest, and then a long rest. Awesome. Moving on, going to be going into the 2 dive bombers and 4 breaststrokes. So modifying here a little bit. So you dive forward, tracing the nose, and then you just push yourself back to down dog. No reversing with the arms bent. That's really hard to do the reverse movement with arms bent. And then the breaststrokes are going to stay the same. That ideally, hopefully you can do. It's a hard movement, but it's not going to, I don't have any real modifications for that. Other option for the dive bombers is to do them on your knees. This can be a little awkward at first because you sort of keep the butt up in the air, but you're still doing the same things with the arms. So elbows go out wide, tracing the nose along the mat, trying to drop the chest as close to the mat as you can. After 2, you're going to go back to breaststrokes, and then 2 modified dive bombers. So knees down, be flexible in the spine here. So keep the core strong. Great. Already moving on. Going into the bent over Rhodes. So this is a modification for the TRX full body rows. So you're going to come into with the weight in the heels. Glutes are nice and strong, belly pulled in. Really want to support the low back here. I use really heavy weights, as heavy as I can go on these big muscle groups in the upper back. So think of picking up 2 heavy suitcases on either side of your legs. And then I'm going to show you if that feels like you're not supporting the back enough. For me, this isn't my favorite, sitting in the chair, but it sometimes feels better for certain people. So if you can get the weight, if it's hard to get the weight in the heels for you when you're standing and doing the bent over rows, doing seated bent over rows is an option as well. So squeezing the shoulder blades together, nice and controlled on the way up and on the way down. Cool, done with that minute. Last minute, already getting to the end of 10 minutes. You're going to be halfway through after this. New jacks, so close and wide squats without weights. Even without weights, these are heavy, heavy movements. This is hard. So want to get the glutes as low as you can on that wide squat in particular, down between the knees or in line with the knees. And then on the close squat, you're going to sit back as far as you can, but just it's a little harder to get your range of motion as deep as the wide squat. So if the jumping's too much, here's your option to default to stepping out and in. So basically close squat, step one way, wide squat, close squat, feet together, step the opposite way, wide squat. So again, still going as low as you can into the squats. You can do whatever feels comfortable with the arms. I find that bringing them forward as I squat and pressing them back as I stand feels good for me and gives me a little bit of help with the balance. And you're done. So 2 rounds down, keep going, and repeat.